Welcome home, Raiders. Tonight, we're going to talk about 8.2 and about how they're trying to fix things, I guess, and a lot more. This is Convert to Raid.
You're listening to Convert to Raid. Convert to Raid. The podcast for Raiders in the World of Warcraft.
Is this the right music? Hey guys, is this the right music? I guess it's the right music. They said it was the right music. I don't know. From the CTR Command Post in Sacramento, California, today is July 2nd, 2019. And thank you so much for joining us from all around the world of Warcraft. My name is Pat Krane. I'm your host of the show. And joining, as usual, is the lovely Thyst. Hello, Thyst.
You know, this music reminds me of something.
I know. It's weird, right?
It is weird.
I'm having like flashbacks.
You know, me too.
To about like 4 years ago? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that. That's a long time ago.
It was a while back. Yeah.
I like that intro.
Well, maybe they said it was right. The production team here said it was right,
Yeah, it seems right. So
it feels right.
You know, maybe
totally feels
are you
right.
gonna keep playing that every time? Like, what's going on?
I'll just keep playing it until it runs out, I guess. I guess that's for today, though.
Just today.
No, we'll keep doing this thing. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome Twitch chat. Welcome Thyst. Welcome all you folks from around town. I don't know if that's a thing. From their town, wherever they're from, that's where they're from. So thank you very much for thank you very much for tuning in to this week's show. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about, including why we're playing old music that's been redone, and more and a new show that's coming up that has nothing to do with me. So there. First up, I figured that we would talk about the music that's in the room. This stuff right here. You know, I'll fade that out. But the reason that we are playing the old music is because we're dumping BNN, I guess. You know, it's
been a long time coming.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those things where Battle.net News served a purpose, and that purpose was we didn't want to get stuck with. It happened right after Warlords, right?
Uh-huh.
Was it right after Warlords? Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And we were we had problems during the show, during the dry spells. And instead of just going away, we decided to cover the other Blizzard games because they were very exciting. Hearthstone had just come out, and Overwatch was in the wings, just kind of being finished up, and that we didn't even know about at the time. And Heroes of the Storm was coming around, and so we had all these games to talk about, but we had no way to do it with the current show with Convert to Raid. It seemed really strange, so we started doing a bit called Battle.net News at the end, after talking about whatever was actually happening in World of Warcraft that week, which at the time wasn't much.
I love CTR lore.
So we did that, and then as soon as I switched, the Legion came out, and it's been 77 days of content, like 77 days new content, 77 days new content. And now we're into BFA. It may not be 77 days anymore, but there's still lots of stuff to talk about, especially with Classic and all that kind of stuff. We're still going to cover the other games. There's not much that's really going to change other than the music and graphics.
Wow.
Stuff. I mean, you know, because we're talking about WoW. That's what I want to talk about on this show.
That's what I want to talk about.
Mainly. And then every once in a while, I'll still talk about how I was playing Hammy the Ham and Hamster today in
Were you?
In rando arcade mode. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. was fun.
I cannot get enough of that hamster.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It is good stuff. So Thyst,
Yes.
what's new with? Oh, by the way, also another little announcement. We, as a show, have just turned 8 years old. So, there.
That is an old show.
Yeah. So we've been around the block a couple of times, and we've had a facelift, and then we said, nope, screw that. We're going to go back to the old thing. And it only took 8 years to do that round trip.
That's right. That's what happens. You try to break away, and then it all just comes right back to where
That's
you
right.
used to be. And
That's right.
why ever bother trying to change when you're just going to be your same old self in 8 years?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. But what have you been up to lately?
Well, I have been playing hamster, like I said, and I have been exploring Nazjatar and Mechagon.
How's that going for you?
Slow.
Slow?
Because I keep getting distracted. Last week was the Battleground bonus week, so had to do that. Didn't finish it.
Well,
No, I didn't finish it.
Oh.
It was really hard, though. Just kept not winning a lot.
Well,
So-
this week's it's dungeons, so it's at least, you know.
Yeah, but there's just the thing is when it's a BG bonus week, you get way more people in, obviously.
Sure.
And that can go two ways. A lot of the time, it's like you can get a lot of people who are very experienced in BGs wanting to do BGs more just because of the bonus. But then you've got people who don't know how to do BGs at all, going in and doing BGs. And that could work to your favor, of course, if those people are on the opposing team, but usually they're on your team because you don't have any luck and RNGesus is not real. So you'll just get a lot of people who don't really know what they're doing. And
Well, Thrall's not really a part of the game anymore, right? I mean, no, he's not
I beg to
RN.
differ.
He's green Jesus. He's not RN Jesus.
Right. There's a huge difference. But yeah, that's not to say that if you aren't good at BGs, you shouldn't do the bonus weekend. Absolutely you should.
Sure.
It's just that if you are, very experienced with BGs, just know that you're going to get a healthy mix of very good people and very inexperienced people. And just sort of temper your expectations, I guess, and try not to play on Saturday night because you will not win.
Wow.
Yeah.
No matter what side you play on, you're not going to win.
No, on Saturdays, nobody wins.
Nobody wins. Everybody loses.
Ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I know that it's also been going slow for me, and I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know exactly why. I mean, I've been busy IRL and stuff like that, which is understandable. Whatever.
It's probably it.
But it's also part of it is that with the new content. And I'm doing Nazjatar and all that kind of stuff and going out to Mechagon when I can, and I just don't. Is it that I'm not in the zone? I mean, like I'm in the zone, but I'm not in the
I'm in the zone, but I'm not in the
doing all of
zone.
the things. I think I'm just having. Maybe it's because there's so much to do that I don't know exactly what to tackle all the time. And this week I actually saw on Sloot's Twitter account.
I know that guy.
Yeah, at Slootbag on Twitter.
Slootbag.
Yeah. So he actually put out a thing that was talking about rep. He actually put out a couple of little. I mean, they're more like notes for himself during
He's
his
so
stream.
helpful.
And so it has all of the rep stuff, and the rep is going to be so important if you want to get flying. And apparently, it's on track for probably late next week, early the week after, something like that. As soon as Mythic starts, we should see some flyers going around. So that's pretty cool.
That's going to be weird. It's always weird seeing the first couple people flying in the new zone, and you're like, okay, fine.
I have a feeling it's going
Tryhards.
to. I have a feeling it's going to take me a while, though.
Yeah, me too. I don't know.
I
I never get flying early.
I did get to go through and do the Bane thing, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Oh yeah.
The scenario and stuff like that. So that was nice, but I don't know. I just haven't made it beyond that. And I would like to know what people out there are thinking about 8.2. And I put out a little Twitter poll, and everybody was like, well, it's just too early. We don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know how we feel about this yet.
Well, that's the way, whenever something huge drops like this and you get like not only new content, but new zones, it's very daunting at the beginning. It's hard to get into it. And speaking from experience, I find the best way to get into the zone is to try to, do content with people.
Sure.
Just, finding a group, it makes it all the more,
it always does.
It just helps. You don't die as much because there's lots of people.
It always does. And apparently there are people flying already. I wasn't in game today, so I didn't see it. But apparently Sloot is flying, and somebody, Katsuki got it today, and yeah. I don't know. So people are flying.
Congratulations to everybody. Wow.
Yeah, but Sloot is also playing like 12 hours a day.
Oh, of course. Playing like it's his job because it is.
Right. Because it is.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good.
Why are we streamers?
Ah, man, that's a tough life.
Yeah.
That is a tough life.
You got to stream all the time, I hear.
I know. You got to play games all the time, and you got to talk to people. Blah.
Oh. Yeah, never mind. That was a weird pipe dream that just popped up.
No, it looks really fun until you get down into it, and then it's like, I don't really want to.
Of course, it's a job like anything. You got to work. So
it is. You gotta choose your. If you can choose your job like that, and that's appealing to you, awesome. Go for it. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of jobs and new job, not for me. No.
Oh.
I wanted to talk about, speaking of a little retro action.
Gotta get back in time.
I wanted to bring up a friend of ours and an alum of the show, Mr. Koltrane.
I know that guy too.
Yeah.
I'm on a roll.
He has announced a new show, and it's called Azeroth Public Radio. And you guys should all subscribe to it right now. And congratulations to Koltrane. This only took like years.
Yep. I'm so proud of him.
Yes.
He's worked so hard with his co-host Shoeboots, who is also kind of like, part of the CTR family once removed a little bit.
Once removed, I think, because he does a show with Shark. And
exactly, who is also on the show. Yeah. We're all connected. It's like we're like one big family that just keeps podding. I was gonna say breeding, but that's a weird place to take the show.
Yeah,
interpodding's probably better.
Interpod, yes.
Yeah.
So that is pretty cool, and I'm gonna play the full little teaser thing later in the show. But I want to play just a slice of it right now.
What's this? Oh, hey, Reggie.
Hey, Tinko.
For Gnomragon.
Yeah, for Gnomragon. Found this thing, I think it's a radio? Kind of buried here. Amidst a big bag of old fortune cookies and...
That's weird. Does it work?
No. It's got a little light on it, but it's kind of flickering.
Well, here, let's hook it up to the generator. Worth a shot, right?
And that's where I'm going to stop it. This is like a tease for the tease for the show.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. I got to hear it super early.
Nice.
I was hanging out with Koltrane a couple weeks ago in LA, and he played it for me, and I freaked out.
That's cool. He does. I mean, he's a production guy, so of course, he really knows how to do the production stuff. And,
yeah, he does.
And which is why we work so well together, doing all the different bits and stuff like that. So that was
That's true.
So I'm really looking forward to this too, and seeing what he does, and seeing how he and Shoeboots do their thing. So yeah, go check it out. Azeroth Public Radio. It's available on iTunes right now. So
yes, you can go to azerothpublicradio.com or follow them on Twitter at APR Show.
And that's what you call a plug. Yep.
Oh yeah, plugged big time.
And again, I'll play the entire thing later in the show if you want to hear that. But you can go check it out online and go subscribe to it. Please do, because it should be fun. I mean, it's Koltrane.
It will be fun. Of course, we love Koltrane around here.
It's Koltrane. You gotta like Koltrane.
You have to.
Right.
It's the law.
I think so.
Of nature. I don't know.
All right.
Don't give me dead air,
All
because then
right.
I just fill it with stupid stuff that
All
I say,
right.
Pat.
Well, then let's
you can't do that. That was the agreement.
Then let's get to the news. And as always, and continuing forward, we will start and maybe even end with World of Warcraft.
A clever strategy.
Thank you. So, patch 8.2.
Yes. This is the second week of that patch.
I know,
I think.
and the patch notes, like they're patching the patch. Like,
oh yeah. Well, I mean, that's what happens, right?
A lot. I mean, this is a huge patch, number one. So you would expect a lot of hotfixes. But I was looking at the hotfix lists that came out over the last week. There were 3 or 4 of them, and they were all pretty huge.
Yeah.
like lots of quests were fixed. Increased the health scaling and base health of the lowest health spawns in the Nazjatar and Mechagon area. So that's helpful and confusing a little bit, I think.
Well, I think they did that because groups were killing them too quickly.
Yeah, they were just
so if they increase the health, then more people can get in.
Yeah.
And get a piece of that pie,
Yep.
That fat money cake.
That's right.
That loot pinata. That sweet.
Okay, we've heard enough out of you, little lady. They also fixed mob spawns because some of them were spawning in a rock. For example.
I mean, they can go to Iraq if they want to.
Yeah, but they're spawning in a rock.
Oh.
So that's
not helpful.
That's a problem.
And then you aggro them and they don't unaggro, or they don't aggro at all, but you can unaggro, and then you're shooting them and you can't shoot them, but then they can shoot you, and you're just like, where is this?
Right.
And then you try to ride away on your mount, but you can't mount up because they're still aggroed from in the rock, but there's nothing you can do about it.
And then for some reason, you hit something and you hit a crab.
Yes. It is likely that you will hit some kind of crab in Nazjatar, for sure.
Crustaceans.
One time I went into a cave and there was literally 16 of them in there, and they looked really cool. And I was like, whoa, new crabs. And then all of a sudden there's 100 new crabs on me, and I just died. I couldn't take it.
There are a couple of areas where it's pretty dangerous, actually.
It's absolutely fraught with crustaceans, Patrick.
I know. It's a problem.
It's an infestation.
It's a real problem. But we have a solution.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we do. We have a solution. That was a great intro, by the way. to our audio bit. So let's give you the solution. If you feel like you have too many crabs in your life.
You feel like you have crabs.
If you feel like you have crabs and you can't get rid of them, we do have a solution. And I will play that for you right now.
Hi, I'm Thyst.
And I'm Pat Krane.
And we're here today to talk to you about a very recent issue.
It's an issue that affects most of us, especially Gilblins.
It's a condition called IFOWTIACANM. I freak out whenever there's a crab anywhere near me.
That's right, Thyst. And it affects 1 in 5 Azerothians.
That's a pretty frightening statistic, Patrick. Almost as scary as when I found out that I'd have to play as a dirty, filthy,
Slobbering alliance for 3 bosses in the Battle of Nazjatar?
That's right. You really freaked out there. Like, way more than I was expecting ever.
Yeah, I was seeing red there for a hot minute.
But now all that's out of your system, right?
Let's not talk about that, okay? Let's talk about that later.
Okay. This is a bit different from when Colt and I used to do this bit. Like, a lot.
We at the Let's Not Freak Out Whenever There Is a Crab Anywhere Near Me Society are looking to help you.
Bring us your bitten, your pinched, and your tunes with strong AoE that hate Nazjatar already.
We can provide the support and care you need to move on from these pesky crustaceans and get on with your life.
This is Timmy. He's a demon hunter upset about how targeting Naga and Nazjatar really doesn't mean jack. And well, let's let him tell the story.
I was first upset when I realized that Naga always stood next to crabs of incredible power. I mean, sure, I helped save Azeroth countless times, but who will help me with simple little sea creatures? Now, thanks to the LNFOWTIACANMS, I no longer want to I-beam my loins with fire and poop everywhere.
Thank you, Timmy.
And thank you for not pooping.
If you have a loved one who may be suffering or find yourself with these symptoms, please call us.
1-800-CALM the F down. Operators are standing by.
Call today. I'm not just a founder, but a member as well.
Right. Like when you hit Sunfire by accident and were swarmed by seashells?
Oh, Thyst. You just had to bring that up, didn't you? There were 7 of them!
Call 1-800-CALM the F down. That's 1-800-CALM the F down. Or stop by your nearest LNFOWTIACANMS center today.
Burn with fire and poop everywhere!
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Yes. That old gem of a bit. Hi.
Hi. You know, that.
You all right?
Yeah. No, I love that. It's so calming in a weird way.
It is.
But it's such a lovely throwback to the olden days.
I just want to know if we can come up with a longer title for a society. That would be good.
I mean, of course we could.
We need more letters.
We could put numbers in it too.
Well, no, you don't want to confuse it with numbers because you want them to call.
We wouldn't want it to be confusing.
You want them to call the number.
Could you actually wait?
No, let's not even try.
Let's invest in our own hotline number. 1-800 Krane.
Oh boy.
So can just call you.
So anyway, the crabs are definitely a problem. There are also some Naga encampments where it's a problem.
Just a few.
And where you could just get mobbed, and I found out the other day with the squids as well. Those are terrible. Like the adult squid with the little baby squids.
Right. Yeah.
You got to just run out of that one.
You have to watch out for the adult squids specifically. They will mess you up.
And the jellyfish can go blow. that jellyfish puzzle. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Rah!
But like, is this not, your typical new patch sort of, like, this is what happens, right? Like, you don't necessarily, you haven't traversed the land enough to know how to avoid these mobs, and
that's true.
Your gear is too low in this new land to avoid death as well as you usually are. And I don't know, they always just seem to cram as many NPCs into new places as possible.
Sometimes.
Because
that's
people are just trying to get stuff and get gear and get loot and get XP or what have you.
So how do you like Nazjatar, especially? I mean, I know that some people have an issue with how, like the verticality of it, just it's very up and down.
Yeah.
And some people have a tough time with that. Are you finding that that's okay for you, or?
I As a mage, that does not bother me. If I need to go down, that is especially easy. I just bring up my map. I look at where I need to go, and then I just sort of like run that way until I get to a cliff, and then I jump off the cliff, and then before I hit the ground, I slow fall, and everything's Gucci. And then, you know, getting back up is not as easy, but I am a mage, so.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's like I just go into cat form and don't care.
Totally.
If I fall.
And, you know, if I'm feeling real lazy, I just port back to the Great Seal and then take the port back to Nazjatar, and then I'm
That is
in the
lazy.
cave. Oh, yeah.
That's like
I mean, it's
super
not,
lazy.
but it also is at the same
You
time.
can also whistle out of there, you know. You could probably use your whistle.
I don't think I have that unlocked yet, but yeah, no, listen, I'm not going to be made to feel lazy because I'm using my natural abilities, okay?
You have excuses galore for not being 100% caught up right now on all of the things, all of the different things. And so it's like, you know, you came back from NBI a few weeks ago, and, you know, you've been playing catch up ever since.
Yes,
So-
I have. Thank
so-
you
so there.
for acknowledging that.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong with using your portals if you got them. If you got them, flaunt them,
and
right?
you're a mage, so you have portals galore. So, you know, you got portals
Yes.
for days.
That's my James Bond's name, Portals Galore.
I like that. That's very
I
nice.
knew you would.
That's very nice.
Thanks.
Let's see. Some other stuff that they've been fixing: essence procs, gadgets as they work with shapeshifters, especially. And I know that the big outstanding thing that people are really noticing is that the phasing is pretty bad.
Yeah, and I feel like that's an issue every time there's a new zone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, they can beta test all day long, but you know they have to put it out and let the world try it out. And
it was so bad that the Battle of Nazjatar was just it was kind of a joke. I mean, because you had people it seemed like there were a lot of times where there wasn't anybody on the other side of things. So you'd have all horde, no alliance, or the other way around, I guess. And
I'm not complaining. Like, as long as the horde win, it's fine. It doesn't matter what's messed up.
Sure, but you know, it's kind of like that's the point of the game, is that you want to be able to battle each other. It's called the Battle of Nazjatar. It's not the.
I mean, yeah. I killed a few people.
They fixed it though.
That's good. Of course they will. Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, this is good. Like, what the sooner they find these issues, and the sooner everybody reports these issues, the sooner they get fixed, then we don't have to worry about it.
Right.
This is good.
And so, yes, now the Battle of Nazjatar will activate when there are similar numbers of players with War Mode in Nazjatar. When that's not the case, though, and people who do not turn War mode on can still participate in this. It's the new event, Ashara's Elite Commanders event, where you go and kill elite commanders, essentially. Instead
I wish
of the
I
other
was
side.
an elite commander.
So that somebody would attack you and try to kill you?
Yeah. Bring it.
All right.
Bring it.
All right.
I'm not afraid.
All right.
All right. You right?
All right. Sounds good. Let's see. What else? Did you get to Bane? Did you get to save Bane yet?
No, but I watched the cinematic.
Cinematic's cool.
Oh, are we going to talk about that, or is it still a spoiler?
Well, I think we can talk about it. I mean, because it's kind of a big thing, and it was on the launcher already.
It's a huge thing, yes. And
it was
it's
on the
also
launcher
YouTube.
already, and I mean, you know, of course we're going to talk about it. Why not? I mean,
I'm trying to be conscientious, Patrick.
I was trying to play it, and it's too jumpy, so I'll just bail on that. But it is pretty cool. Yeah, we saved Bane. We saved Bane.
With the help of Jaina.
With the help of everybody. It's Jaina and Thrall and Sourfang, and I'm sure there are other people that I can't remember.
Other human guy. Yeah.
Oh,
no.
yeah. Matthias Shaw. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that Thrall and Jaina have a history. I get it. I know that. But, like, nothing is ever going to make it feel okay to see those two chilling together. You know, like it's.
Well, you know, I mean, Thrall just has a history with hanging out with human females. I don't know. He does.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and if that's his preference, then I'm in luck, certainly, because that is what I am IRL.
Sure.
And that would be awesome if Thrall was a real thing in life.
And so after we get done with saving Bane, Thrall and Jaina do have a chat on the side of a cliff, essentially, and I want to play this part for you, and here it is right now.
Horde, Alliance, we've come to this crossroad again and again, Jaina. It always falls apart. What's different this time?
We are.
If you didn't know We Are was coming up on that big build-up, you haven't seen enough movies. Because that was a perfect line for right there.
It really was.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's weird.
We're different now, Thyst. We're totally different. We are different. We are different. I think Horde and Alliance are different. I think Jaina and Thrall are different. I thought
you were talking about us personally. I was like, what did you do?
There's been so much change in BFA for these characters, especially for Thrall and for Sourfang and for Bane and for Jaina as well. Matthias Shaw, not so much.
No,
he's still doing
that's okay.
Thing, but
it doesn't matter. Fine.
But there's been a lot of change, and so it's been lots of upheaval.
That's true,
this expansion.
And it's interesting because like this isn't the first time. So we went into this expansion knowing that it would be very red versus blue, right?
Sure.
And obviously we've gotten a lot of that, but it's kind of more like been very red versus blue versus red, you know? Colors.
Right. Colors.
And so this kind of thing, like we kind of saw like some cracks in the whole like red versus blue expansion when Saurfang kind of defected from Sylvanas. But then that whole thing was kind of rectified by, you know, some Horde, myself included, coming to terms with how they actually felt about the whole tree thing and how, like, although it was really sweet to inconvenience the Alliance so much, like it was aces. You know, it didn't feel Horde like, you know, there was no honor in that at all. It felt bad, and it made me feel bad ultimately. Not necessarily feel bad for the Alliance, but it made me feel bad for the Horde because we were changing so much. And so then we saw Saurfang being released from prison by Anduin, and I didn't see that coming, you know?
Oh, like I totally did. If you know Anduin, he's a total softie. He's like,
I know, but,
you know, we need help. Because is he going to kill Sylvanas? No, of course not. He might go to battle with her, but he's not going to kill her or anything like that. I mean, it's not going to be that gruesome.
That would be interesting.
He's a priest, for crying out loud.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. Have you played Hearthstone? Come on.
Yeah, I know. I'm speaking like metaphorically. But anyway,
gotcha.
So he lets Saurfang go, and then that's kind of weird. Saurfang's like, really? And Anduin's like, just go, because he's always crying. You know,
that's his best.
The snot.
That's the golden shot for him. That's
Anduin.
Him being kind of crying, like just very, very slightly, like a single tear. That is perfect Anduin right there.
No, it's like he's got full on like ugly cry face. He's got like his tears are mixing with the snot running down.
Yeah, that happens. That's why in the opening cinematic he had that dome. It was just all snot. That's what it was.
Yep.
He wasn't reviving people. It was just snot. It was a snot bubble that got way too big.
That's gross.
So here's something. I've been reading a lot of the lore and about how people want to, or about what people expect out of this expansion now, and especially this last little bit threw a lot of people because of the quest text and because of what happens kind of on the Sylvanas side of things, right?
Right.
So on the Sylvanas side of things, you go to him before the Saving Bane event and you say, hey, they want me to go save Bane. And Thanos says, oh yeah, just play along. We already know about this. We've got this on lock, essentially.
Right.
And so you go there and you save Bane, and then you come back and you report back to him, and he says, yeah, I hate that I had to play along with that, but that was, I mean, essentially what he's saying is that was part of our plan.
Yeah.
What? What is this plan?
I don't know.
What is this plan? Is this like the most evil way to get everybody together ever? I mean, because Sylvanas burning the tree, and then I don't know how much foreshadowing she saw or whatever on trying to get us together. But if she's trying to get us together, starting with burning a tree is pretty weird.
Well, no, not really. Because, I can see Sylvanas taking a really strange route to the right thing. And she would know that, uniting under or against a common enemy is how Horde and Alliance work together. And she's like, okay, there's no common enemy, so it's got to be me. And I'm going to go do that now. Here I go. And also, she's friggin' hopped up on Azerite pills right now. So she knows exactly what she's doing. She's confident. She's always 3 steps ahead of her own self. So I'm just saying, she is a tactical war expert. She knows what she's doing. Vol'jin knew her plan before she did. So maybe she's just becoming the common enemy. Maybe she's stepping into Garrosh's role to bring everyone back together, to bring Thrall back to whatever he needs to be doing, to calm down Jaina and get her to focus on something other than being crazy, and also a bad mage, lol.
But she's not. This expansion, she hasn't been that crazy. She's been very low key and accepting her fate and all that kind of stuff. Not going crazy.
I don't know, man.
Not like a couple of expansions ago where she went friggin' nuts.
She seemed pretty crazy to me.
At the beginning of Legion, she went nuts. She left.
Kill her on a boat.
Yeah. So.
I tried to.
Yeah. Well, stuff happens, I guess.
I tried to kill her on a boat, and then she stopped the boat, and then she made ice, and then I tried to kill her on the ice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was hard.
And she said,
I did it, though.
You thought I was trying to run?
Yeah.
Freeze.
And I was like, that's not what I thought.
I love that.
I thought you were just mental.
Especially the second time you go through that fight, you're like, no, I totally saw this coming. This is how
I knew this was happening.
This is how it
Whatever.
Works, oh, man. So anything else as far as the lore? I mean, it's getting weird.
It's getting weird. It's getting ever more reminiscent of Mists of Pandaria, but we have been assured that Sylvanas is nothing like Garrosh, and her story will not be anything like his. And, if we're right in assuming that she's doing this for a greater purpose, then that would be pretty cool. And, I don't hate Sylvanas, but I don't like her anymore. And I miss liking her, if she had this whole redemption arc going on where she was the bad guy because that's how the good guys became good or something like that, that would be perfect for her, wouldn't it?
I guess. I mean, I always she's always been kind of you love to hate her a little bit, and
I just,
and this one, it's you just hate her.
Yeah.
And so
I wanted to knock it off.
If this is a indication of where it's going, then I like that, because I don't want to think that she's just, evil or whatever.
Right.
So okay. I'm still on the train.
On the trolley, but
Yeah.
I'm no good at predictions, Patrick. We know this.
Yeah. Well, me either.
I'm probably way off.
Me either. but it was cool to see, and I enjoyed the event and all the questing going up to it, and trying to continue with all the war campaign stuff. That's cool, and trying to get all the rep. That's where I start to stumble a little bit because it's a lot.
It's hard to represent.
It is.
It really is, though. It's very hard.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to get flying anytime soon, honestly.
Well, and like my artifact knowledge is not up there either. Thankfully, though, right now artifact knowledge has started up again. So, and there's a 30% bonus essentially.
Ooh!
So, I got to do some islands. I got to do some more islands.
Yes, you do, Patrick.
I got to do all the rep grinds.
You got to grind that rep.
I got to do more islands, I think.
Yeah. Easy peasy. Do like 4 or 5 heroic islands with somebody. You're done.
Right.
You're done.
And the other good news is that, if you're on the Alliance side, there's the war mode bonus of 25%. So that's because nobody on the Alliance is playing war mode. So
I love that so much. That is so funny. That is so rich. I love it. Oh,
that is so rich. That is so rich.
It feels good in my heart and my stomach. Oh,
and my stomach.
So good.
Yeah.
They literally have to pay the Alliance to turn on war mode. That is absolutely.
Ever since I turned it off, I never thought about turning it back on. I really haven't.
I never thought of turning it off.
Even with the Nazjatar events, I was like, you know what? I'm fine. I'm good. And now there's a reason to leave it off too, because if they have this elite commander event now in Nazjatar, when there aren't 2 factions there of equal size or whatever, then everybody can participate, whether you have war mode on or not.
Just like the old days.
So there. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. What are you talking?
Do you want to talk about something kind of controversial?
Yes. No.
No? Yes. I think we have to talk about it because people will expect us to.
Well, then why did you ask me?
People will expect us to talk about it, and so I think we should probably talk about it.
What is it?
The new mount.
Oh, for Pete's sake!
In the store. It's in the store for real money, not for gold, or for a 6-month sub that has a recurring date. So you can't just
some WoW tokens.
No.
You can't buy it with WoW tokens?
I don't think so. No. I think it's just money.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So they changed it a little bit from the Dreadnought, which I don't really like. So the Dreadnought, you could buy that with tokens or whatever, and it was in the store and it was fine and all that kind of stuff. For this one, it's either cash money or 6-month sub. And I have a 6-month sub, so I just got it.
I just bought it immediately because I like it. It's pretty.
So there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's your typical sort of Drake skeleton with a nice new skin. It's very bird-like. It's got a beak. It's blue and white.
Right.
It leaves sparkle clouds when it walks. The feathers on its wings, like the colors shift. It's very pretty.
It looks cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I know that a lot of people are kind of angry about it. For those guys that hate the store, I get it. But
I don't get it.
You don't get hating the store?
I don't get it.
People just, I think the reasoning is that people don't like to pay for things when they're already paying for a sub. They want to be able to earn these mounts through whatever. But
there's so many free mounts in the game that you can just earn yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So this is something
I know people are touchy about like gated content, but
right.
I don't know, man.
Or just paying for more, I think.
The worst part was that, and this is like the most controversial part, I guess, is that anybody who expressed any interest or joy or satisfaction over this mount on social media was getting like emote spit on Twitter, like /spit,
and in the game too. And for the record, I just want to say, if you guys are doing that, that's dumb. I mean, just let people have their joy.
Yeah,
I don't see what the real problem is. If you don't like it, don't buy them out.
Yeah, I had somebody on Twitter try to explain to me that microtransactions was the reason that WoW has been in decline since Wrath. And I'm like, one, I don't think that's true. And two, what? Can you explain that to me? And I feel like sometimes people assume that the WoW team is made up of 3 people and like 2 of those people are Ian and Laura or something. And that when they need to make a new mount, 3 out of the 3 people who work on the WoW team must stop what they're doing, drop their pencils, get up from their desks, go over to another building on the lot, like a shed or something, right, and then just start like furiously animating old school with a marker, like on one of those light boards, a new mount.
Oh yeah.
And then it takes like 6 months, like old school Disney, and they gotta like paint the cells with the paint. Wow. And then they have to like send it away to a foreign country like Canada.
That's
and
OG,
then
man.
Yeah, us up in Canada have to like animate it for cheap and then send it on back to Irvine, and then they push it out the doggy door for $25 a pop, and everybody's like, "What? The game sucks. Nobody's been manning the station. Like planes are crashing into the help. We're sinking. No, it's bad. Microtransactions are ruining WoW."
I understand that everybody will have an opinion on the topic and all that kind of stuff, but
of course,
I just want to reiterate that there's no reason why you can't let other people have their joy. You can try I mean, you can argue your case for why there shouldn't be a store mount, why there shouldn't be a store, and I would probably be like, yeah, okay, all right, that's fine. Because guess what? I have no say in the matter. They don't ask me things. So
they should. You're a smart guy.
They don't ask me things.
I ask you everything.
If they did, no, I'm not. I have plenty to talk to them about it. If they.
Bottom line though, is that those who love the mount and bought the mount and are enjoying the mount, don't go out and pick a fight with people. And people who think that gated content and microtransactions and the mount itself is stupid and that there's a problem with all of that, that's cool. Like, I totally respect your opinion. If you have that opinion, that's fine. Obviously I don't agree, but that's your opinion and I respect it. Yeah. But don't go after the people who are happy with their mounts. Like that's their business. They're having fun. You've got your business. You don't have the cool bird dragon mount, and you're having your fun over on that side, Like we're World of Warcraft. And the only reason we should be fighting each other is because some people foolishly chose to be alliance.
Because you guys over there are red and you guys over there are blue. That's why we should be fighting. That's
exactly
right. Yeah.
That's the only reason.
I was watching the Converted podcast. Well, I was watching before they did the show for the Converted podcast, the Guild podcast, if you will. And I was watching a couple of the guys go around, and one of them popped up that mount just to try to start some stuff. Not really, but they said, watch this. This is going to be controversial. And I went, I know what you're doing. You're gonna use that mount. So yeah, it was very funny.
It's a good mount though.
And if you like stuff in the store, there's more stuff in the store. But this stuff is actually real stuff that you can touch and hold and feel and drink coffee out of, or whatever, or maybe some soup. Even.
Oh.
These mugs are huge. There's Murgle, the red murloc plush and mug, a red murloc mug, coming to the store next week.
I like it. You know what's weird though? I like the packaging on Murgle more than I actually like the plush. Is that the? I just I saw it for the.
My dogs love the plushies.
Yeah, I bet they do.
Love them.
You got to watch out for that.
They love them. I actually, when we were moving, I had too many little guys with me, and so I actually gave one to the dogs.
You sacrificed one
as a little baby for them. I don't know. So there's that.
Here's your new baby.
Here you go, guys. Here you go. Have some fun. Don't ruin it right away. And then, of course, the eyeball was like off.
Wow, you're like a beast mastery hunter with 2 hounds, and you're like, sick 'em boys.
That's right, but they're girls, so I would say sick 'em girls. Yes, Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly that.
Going to the beach, disrupting their little huts.
Right.
Leave them alone.
Whatever
happened to save the murlocs? Is that still a website?
I don't know.
That was a good website.
What was on it?
Have you ever been?
I don't think I've ever been to there.
Really?
Save the murlocs.
That might have been a vanilla thing, but there was like this like awareness site, and there was like, I think it was like a black screen, and it had white text, I think, and there was like a little murloc picture with a candle, and it was talking about the plight of the murlocs and how they're endangered and we should save them.
Was this part of the data stuff, the DEHTA thing in Northrend?
I don't remember.
Because there's a Kotaku article that says data urges you to save the murlocs.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I've got. That was one of the first stories that I pulled up. I don't know.
I'm gonna look for this.
Were there T-shirts?
Oh yeah, there was absolutely T-shirts back in the day.
Right. All right. Anyway. Anywho, so that stuff is coming to the store on July 9th, and that's always kind of fun. And right now they have a blue versus red thing happening in the store as well. I just saw it in my email. Okay, let's move on to another hot topic, if you will.
Okay. Oh, wow, nice segue.
And that is, thank you. And that is Mike Morhaime, everybody's best geeky friend. He's awesome.
If you're listening, Mike, the whole adopting me thing, that's still on the table, by the way. I'll be Thyst Morhaime. I don't mind.
Sure. So Mike was on the interview circuit this last week or whatever because
he was.
Because now he can be. He doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to be quiet anymore. He doesn't have a non-compete. He's not being silenced via contract or anything like that. So now he can actually talk to reporters. So he did.
Yes, he was at a gaming conference in Barcelona, and they gave him a standing ovation, and it was so nice.
And he got an award, right?
Yeah, I think I don't remember reading about an award, but yeah,
I know he's up for one.
Hopefully, glow sticks weren't involved. Oh, too good.
So Mike was actually talking about a bunch of different stuff. He talked about Titan. He talked about StarCraft Ghost. He talked about like all these different
Ghost?
He talked about all these different failed projects and about what that meant for Blizzard and you know how some of them were heartbreaking, but you know, you also get things like Overwatch out of that. So
right. And I mean, I feel like that's a really great analogy for a lot of things in life. It's like you can try really, really, really hard on something and build something and spend your time and energy and money on it. But if it's not up to scratch, sometimes you just have to let these things go. And then when you do, something even better comes of it, you know?
Sure.
I feel like we could all use that as an example for life.
Sure. And he was talking about how like 50% of the projects over at Blizzard just get shelved because of whatever reason. Like,
Blizzard has standards.
Right. And like with Titan, they just kind of wanted to do everything and it got out of control.
Yeah.
It was just too ambitious.
The way that he described it, it just sounds like it was so vast and grand and I don't know, maybe like just too avant-garde. Maybe it was just too futuristic. It was too much for this timeline.
It was lots of years for this timeline. That's funny because it was about time travel, essentially.
Yeah,
traveling through time to historic events and participating in them somehow, probably.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And it's so like if Overwatch came out of that, and if it really was like the unofficial, not related sequel to World of Warcraft, like God, it could have been so amazing. But just because like the whole thing, like the gravity of Titan itself, like and the fact that they had to like kill it after so many years and so much hard work really speaks to Blizzard's standards of quality and fun in video games.
And don't forget that they put like a lot of big name guys in there. A lot of their top talent went onto the Titan project at some point. And so there were a lot of like very well-known folks at Blizz on this project, and for it not to turn out as kind of seems a little weird and maybe a little heartbreaking, but
very tragic.
And you never know. Maybe the Overwatch 2 thing that we keep on hearing about, or that we have heard about, will kind of maybe do some of this stuff that Titan was supposed to do. Since Overwatch came out of Titan in the first place, maybe Overwatch 2 will be
more Titan-y?
More Titan-y. It'll be
yes.
Yeah.
Way more Titan-y.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you remember tighten your boots?
Tighten your boots. Yeah, I totally remember that. Of course, I remember.
That's a good
all
bit.
the classic bits over here at CTR. Yes. And so I think that I think that people should definitely read the Mike Morhaime interviews. I know that there's a few articles out right now about all the different stuff that he talked about.
A lot of them are really great. A lot of them really touch on, what he's been up to since he retired and what he's thinking about doing, and a lot of, questions about, when you started, what was it like? What is it like now to see all of your hard work paying off, et cetera, et cetera. It's exactly the kind of stuff that I love most to read about.
It was kind of a retrospect of his stuff over at Blizz, both the good and the kind of sad, maybe not as far as regret, but definitely some of the downer stuff that happened there as well. Some of the big failures, but also some of the big successes. So I think it's just a really good set of articles that will help you understand Mike a little bit more if you are so inclined. So go
understand Mike Morhaime.
That was
come on. It was kind of funny. Oh, thank you. Wow. Thanks a lot.
Yes. All right. And the last bit of WoW news, I guess, is that next week is Operation Mechagon, and the new raid are coming out. Woo! So normal and heroic for the new raid, and then mythic for Operation Mechagon, because that is a mega dungeon. So
yes.
So that'll be cool. That'll be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to jump in there. I actually I was watching the Fat Boss guides earlier today.
Ooh, are you excited?
I am. And even the underwater thing, that doesn't look too bad. The underwater boss doesn't look that bad.
It's fine.
It's okay. I mean, I'm sure that it'll be a little weird for people, especially if you get stuck out in the middle and then get eaten by a fish.
Hey man, we've come up against that before, except there was a whale and there were many eels and murlocs that would attach themselves to your body.
Sure. And same thing with the mythic dungeon for Borealis, right? So if you fall in the water, guess what? A shark's going to come up and bite you in the butt.
That's right. You got to watch out.
Watch your butt.
Don't go in the water.
Watch your butt. Watch your butt.
Always watching.
So then that means that we can actually, now that we've covered all of the WoW for the week. I mean, there's nothing going on. There's nothing going on in Classic other than pain. That's the only thing that continues to happen in Classic, just pain. So
that's how it was back in the day. Back in my day, it was nothing but pain.
So now,
suffering.
I just kind of wanted to touch base on some of the other games, and actually, it's just really only one other game, Hearthstone, which is basically Warcraft card playing game.
Yes.
So they have announced Saviors of Oldham. The expansion will release August 6th. They just announced that, so we'll see what all that stuff is.
I can't wait.
Oldham was a cool zone.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I like that.
Well, it was like double cat centaurs.
Yeah, I like that zone a lot, and Throne of the Four Winds was in there, and
what I just don't get is like, you know how a centaur is like half of a four-legged animal and then half of a bipeded animal, but like the cat centaur, double cat centaurs, they're like half cat body, half cat body. It
Right.
doesn't make any sense, Pat.
It's a sphinx and a cat.
There's just two cats.
I don't know.
Fused together.
I don't know how.
Like a centaur, but it doesn't make any sense.
Well, but that's the beauty of it.
How?
That's the beauty of World of Warcraft. It doesn't
I'm
have
just
to make
looking at
sense.
these double cat centaurs and I don't get it.
Double cat centaur. All
Yes.
Right. All right. Well,
double cats.
Maybe somebody can help us out with that.
Please.
ConvertToRaid@gmail.com. If you have any info, just let us know via that or Twitter or Discord or whatever.
I would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, that would be great. But the Hearthstone expansion comes out August 6th, and so there you go. I do also want to talk about esports real quick because there's lots of stuff that we should watch. So a little viewer's guide for people for this weekend. What's happening? No AWC this weekend. No arena. No arena this weekend. Next weekend. Next weekend it returns. Next weekend is going to be NA and EU week 3. And then the KR Cup number 4. I think that's all
Excellent.
That's all next weekend. So you'll have your arena, but it's the holiday week here. Oh, by the way, Happy Canada Day yesterday.
Thank you.
Belated,
Thank you
of
very
course.
much.
And then we have America Day on the 4th. And so of course, like a lot of the esports stuff is just kind of, in NA, it's just canceled. Not really.
Tragic.
Not really.
Like I can't really speak to American forefathers or anything because I'm foreign, but I feel like
there were more than 4 of them. Just saying.
Oh, well, then the 8 fathers.
Yeah.
I can't really speak to the 8 fathers, but I feel like they would be all like, yeah, I know it's a holiday, but maybe esports would be great to watch.
Yeah, I mean,
on this day.
Fireworks are cool, but esports are better.
Yes.
Let's go. So there will be a couple of different things. So this weekend, Overwatch League goes to Atlanta.
Woo!
Lots of cool teams playing there. Lots of East Coast teams, especially.
I love me some home games.
Lots of East Coast teams. So like Toronto and New York and Philly, of course, and Atlanta and who else?
I don't know.
I think there are a couple of Asian teams as well going over there. I think like Chengdu Hunters and stuff like that are going over there. So it should be a pretty good show, and that's just going to be on Saturday and Sunday, since it's an away weekend, I guess.
That's great.
Yes.
I hope that it's just as successful as the first one, the Dallas Fuel Weekend. I hope that the power doesn't go out like the Dallas Fuel Weekend. But yeah, it was just so exciting. I love that.
How is the fuel doing right now?
Yeah. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Okay.
No, it's going to be fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
All
It's fine.
All right.
I was perusing the merch today. And they've got their new like home team or
hometown,
hometown, yeah, hometown line where they've just sort of designed their own T-shirts in a unique way. So it's less uniform, like less Overwatch League uniform, and more just sort of an expression of like the team and what the team's aesthetic is and stuff like that. And I think that the best T-shirt is San Francisco, because it's a picture of like the Golden Gate Bridge, and then it says like San Francisco Shock in Full House font.
Oh yeah,
it's hilarious.
It's very Full House. It's extremely Full House.
I love it. It's like the smartest thing. Like I don't like that team, but I would wear that shirt. And it's funny.
I really like the NYXL one where they're playing off of the city streets. So they have the city streets in kind of a cross pattern, and then they're doing the pattern over the top of it, of their logo. Very cool, very smart as well. So it's awesome. It's just good stuff.
It is good stuff. It's good to wear. It looks nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Other things to watch this weekend. We have Hearthstone Grandmasters Season 1, Week 8. So this is the week before the playoffs. So one more week of Grandmasters, and then we have the playoffs. So that's kind of cool.
I wish I was a Grandmaster at something.
Being a Grandmaster at Hearthstone is tough.
Oh, yeah. I could never do that.
Stuff.
I don't have the cognitive capacity to do that.
I was watching my buddy Mage of Death. He does a Hearthstone stream on the regular, I guess. And I was watching him, and he's a really smart guy. And he's like, and I'm like, there's no way. I'm not even close to that. It's intimidating.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's probably what people think when they see you playing WoW.
It's
They're
just
like, "Whoa,
intimidating.
Pat's so good at WoW. I'll never be that good.
No, nobody ever says that.
Like the first time I ever met you, I was so intimidated that my butt started shaking, like separate from the rest of me. Like I was so nervous that my actual butt cheeks started quivering.
I don't even know how that would happen.
Me either, but I was just so nervous. And you're standing around a table and you're like, hey, you want to come to the CTR party later? And I was like, are you inviting me to a party? And you're like, sure. And I'm like, oh my God. And
I'm like, it's open to everybody.
Yeah, it's like, I'm inviting everybody. And then you hand the next guy a flyer and I'm like, oh, right,
I get it now.
cool.
I get it now.
It's fine. Yeah.
So other things to watch this weekend, if you're into StarCraft, and why wouldn't you be, GSL Code S Season 3 kicks off tomorrow. So that's pretty cool. And then you have the big WCS event next week in Kiev. So next week is like a big week for a lot of things. Hearthstone for WCS and for the return of Arena. All three of which I think are large enough. So this weekend, cool. Lots of stuff to watch. Next weekend, big stuff to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
eSports. Yeah.
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 All right.
We're done? Okay.
Anything else?
I just want to say that esports are great.
Okay.
Especially Blizzard esports.
All right. And so I'm going to play this music. Don't worry, we still are going to play the hype train for the Koltrane and the Shoe Boots show for Azeroth Public Radio. Don't forget about that one. That one's that's going to be coming up here in just a second. But at this point, you've probably already heard it.
Listen to it again. What are you waiting for?
Right. That's why we put it in the show, so you can listen to it again. It'll be coming up after all this stuff.
Again.
So, Thyst.
Yes?
Anything coming up this week for you?
I mean, yeah, eventually. LB dropped an episode yesterday.
Nice.
It also features the Azeroth Public Radio bumper at the top of the show.
Look at that.
We are giving away 2 BlizzCon tickets, so if you would like to enter, check out Lagging Balls' social media or listen to the show. And we are looking for a new TNA that is an assistant. So if you're looking to get into the podcast assistant biz, that's a good place to start.
Sure. And other than that, I've got a let's see, do I have a barbecue to go to? I might have a barbecue to go to. I've got fireworks to go to. I've got I don't know, something else going on.
This all sounds like stuff that's going to make it not easy for me to talk to you.
But right, and I'm not going to be able to get my stuff done in Nazjatar. So thanks a lot, America. Way to go.
Thanks, America.
Way to go, guys. No, that's pretty cool. I still really like it. All right, I'm going to bail out of that, and we'll play this. So you can follow Thyst at Thyst03 everywhere. Me at Pat Krane with a K everywhere. And Convert to Raid at Convert to Raid on Twitter. Those are the best places. And don't forget, go to converttoraid.com. That's where you have all the stuff, audios, videos, Convert to Raid Podcast Network, and all the stuff for the guild as well. Anything else? I think that's it. Yeah. So this, it's kind of like a relaunch into the old school, into the OG CTR. And
I love OG CTR.
I mean, not a lot has changed.
You keep saying that.
Not a lot. It's just now we're not going to really focus on the other games too much.
That's fine.
That's okay. That's all right. All All right.
WoW is the only game that really matters.
And we'll get out of here so that you can go listen to the Azeroth Public Radio bit, that little hype piece in just a minute. But thank you guys so much for sticking with us. Twitch folk, thank you for keeping it weird as always. Thyst, you really keep it weird a lot of the times for me. So thanks for that, and thank you guys for taking us around with you wherever you go. We really do appreciate it. And for Thyst and myself and everybody over here at Convert to Raid, we'll see you next time. Until then, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.